Dinner of Champions. Mammy's freshly made stovies.
Hello, my name is Derek Bathgate and I'm a currency trader and have been for around 3 to 4 years now. And throughout this time, I have learned absolutely every strategy under the moon. I have refined my own strategy to the point of perfection where I know exactly when I'm entering, what time I'm entering, why I'm entering, when I'm exiting, everything. But don't get me wrong, you're not watching a guru, you're not watching some millionaire vlogger, YouTuber who has everything sussed out, because that is not the case. I'm still in the phase of passing funded accounts and scaling those funded accounts. So recently though, I have started a 50k evaluation to where I want to document from the start, the very beginning of the evaluation, to 12% profit, because that's what it is to actually pass the account. Fairly easy, not too high, 6% max drawdown, which is a little bit tight, but my strategy is 78% accurate. So I win 78% of the time. That doesn't mean that I won't have losing streak. The max losing streak I've went on is around 3, so that is still well within the 6% range. But like I says, I just want to document from the evaluation phase to the passing phase to the payout phase, and you can come along in the journey as well. And you can see my progress from now to over the next few years, to where I am vlogging every 2 days, making a video every 2 days, uploading something to do with how I trade, my trading strategy, how I'm getting on, what I'm battling, if it's something like some sort of FOMO emotions and things like that. That's my plan for these videos, but right now I want to document my progress with this 50k account. And today I had a 2-hour return on this 50k evaluation, so that has taken me to 10% instead of 12. Not too long to go, and I just want to break down that exact trade, why I entered, higher time frame analysis down to the M15 time frame to where I entered, the liquidity target I targeted, and just everything to do with the trade, my emotions during it, and I will catch you in the trade breakdown. We are just going to get started on the H4. So I only trade the H4 time frame, the M15 and the M5 for executions, but I sometimes enter on the M15 depending how the leg sets up, depending on the entry model and things like that, because continuation I solely enter on the M15, which, yes, it's a bit of a longer trade, but I don't mind that. It's more of a swing instead of a day trade, but I do not mind. See what I was looking at previous price action. So as you can see, overnight we had this liquidity sweep, buy side liquidity sweep. So after a buy side liquidity sweep, you can expect price to gun in the other direction. So here we have the buy side liquidity sweep. We have the break of structure on the H4 time frame. So after a break of structure, what can we expect? We can expect a pullback within IRL of the leg. So we take a fib from the low of the expansion after the break to the high of the sweep. So that is our IRL. Anything within this leg is internal range liquidity. So as it was still nighttime at this point, this is our current leg. We have our buy side liquidity sweep. We'll just keep this on for visualization. We have our break of structure. Overnight, we have this internal break. So this is current chalk, which takes us internal. So we could have played longs with our higher time frame bias during London session, but it didn't. So here we have the chalk that turns us back to bullish and returns us to the H4 internal range liquidity leg. Nothing of interest yet. What I did see is during here that we swept buy side liquidity, and if we were to hold, this would have been our break, and then price would have continued lower, pulled back, internal range, 50% entry for a continuation, then we would have targeted some form of liquidity down below. So as you can see, we have pulled back to IRL. Current leg has expanded bullish out of Asia. This has created a break of structure, and this is our liquidity sweep here, sell side liquidity sweep. So this is our current valid M15 leg. If we wanted to see a chalk, we would need to see this leg get taken, as that is our most recent valid M15 leg. What I was expecting is if price expanded higher during London, expanded and took this low, that would be our chalk. And as you can see, that is what happened with sharp bearish displacement, which is a really good sign to tell us that we are moving bearish, as we have very strong selling momentum. So here I entered solely off of the M15 break, the M15 chalk. I entered, market entered, and covered the high, the sweep. I targeted a set 2R. So as you can see here, market entry, and we absolutely gun down, pull back into the stop loss, and then go down to 2R. So this was the trade. Valid reversal chalk model on the M15 time frame. What I also looked at is what internal range liquidity we were able to target. This was 1 point of internal range liquidity, but if you look here, everything after that, it chains. So it is a continuous bullish price action. It chains. If we break the most recent H4 leg, which this is the original H4 leg, since we break that, everything below is catalyst for pullback. We are just going to sweep pullback, but everything here is going to get swept and taken. So here, that was a liquidity target, that was a pool of liquidity, and my overall liquidity that I was targeting was here. That just looked like a really nice little pool of liquidity, as we had a sweep here, some higher lows getting put in, and we targeted just a set 2R. There's no point in taking a trade that takes a 2.29 when we could have a set 2R, because it's not guaranteed to hit this level. So we had the set 2R, and yeah, I'll quickly put up the trade here. As you can see, proof of entry, and that took us to 10% profit target now instead of 12 like I mentioned earlier on. So I hope you enjoyed this little trade breakdown, and I will catch you in the next one.